Hi. I'm always awkward. The thing is, don't mind this. I just got back from the gym and my hair was in my hat and I felt like my hat was suffocating me and it was just gross and I'm sweaty. What was the point of this video? Okay, 2 points. So the first is I posted before about being really tired and the fact that I just didn't even have the energy to get changed for the gym. Obviously I did because I didn't wear this to class, although I would wear this to class and I think I have before. But I ended up going to the gym. It was okay. Actually, it was kind of terrible. It felt terrible. I had literally, so I think it's been a week since I weightlifted, which is not a lot of time. And I felt so weak. Oh my God. The weight that I usually lift felt like it was 20 pounds heavier for some reason. I felt just like everything was taking extra effort. Just not good. My run was terrible and I had to cut it really short. I don't even think I ran for 10 minutes. I was just, again, feeling terrible. I think that's also related to like what I ate last night or yesterday. I don't think I can have broccoli anymore because it just makes me like really, it puts me in so much pain. But I love broccoli, so I'm like, maybe I'll suffer, but it's not worth it to suffer. So my workout was really crappy. I do not feel woken up whatsoever. I actually pulled into my driveway and sat in my car for 5 minutes because I was mustering up the energy to get up the stairs. And I don't know if it's the bronchitis or that I didn't get a good night's sleep last night, even though I slept more than usual. Or if it's related to depression, which is bringing me to the second point of this video. So I received a message this morning, or maybe last night, I don't know, they probably sent it when I was sleeping. It was a very ignorant message, very ignorant, and if I knew, like, they said that to me in person, I probably would have slapped them, but they didn't, so I virtually slapped them. But this person told me, this person basically tried to undiagnose me with depression. And they were saying things like, you guys might have even read it because I posted it today. But they were basically saying how they don't think I have depression because I post on my Tumblr about being happy. And I post selfies where I look happy, and people with depression that they know of, like their mom and other people, it's like really bad. Which, like, I'm really sorry for their mom because I wouldn't wish depression on anyone, and I know that because I have it. And this video isn't even about me trying to validate my own depression because I'm kind of like tired of talking about myself and my own problems right now, in terms of feeling like I have to defend myself. But I wanted to make this video from the perspective of somebody not only coming, what am I trying to say? From the perspective of somebody not only with depression, but also someone going into the mental health field in general. I feel like, especially when it comes to the ignorance of mental illness and the stigma and just the expectations of what people think certain mental illnesses look like, I feel like I need to educate people in any way possible. Basically, unless it's extremely, extremely obvious, you cannot spot depression. You can be walking past somebody, having a conversation with them, and they could be depressed and you have no idea. So, I don't know what this person was referring to as, their mom having it really bad. Maybe they had suicide attempts, or maybe they couldn't get out of bed, whatever. But that's not everybody's depression. Just like there are functioning alcoholics, there are functioning people who have depression, and they can get up and go to work or go to school, or play their sport or do whatever they do on a daily basis, but they can still have depression. A prime example is Madison Holleran. Maddie was a track athlete who went to UPenn, who committed suicide last year in her freshman year, and she was obviously extremely depressed to the point where she took her own life. And what was she doing? She was still partying. She was running track. She was going to class. She was doing everything that a typical person does, and she was extremely depressed, and nobody had, well, some people had an idea. But for the most part, you wouldn't look at her and think, she's extremely depressed. She thinks of killing herself all the time. And that's the point, the main point that I want to make. And also, the other point is that the person also said, people with depression don't find things that are happy, or they can't find things that are happier to look forward to. And while depression inhibits the ability to see the positive aspects in life and really focus on the future, people with depression can still think about the future and find things to look forward to. Another example, I have a client that I'm working with who has attempted suicide 4 times and has been hospitalized over 10 times for suicidal ideation, depression, things along that respect. And when I'm sitting in therapy with him, because one of the things that we do try to focus on is keeping this idea of the future very real because of the severity of his depression. And we do ask him, what are some things that you look forward to, or what are some things that genuinely make me happy? And he's able to say, my parents make me happy, my dog makes me happy, the idea of moving to a new city in the future makes him happy. So people with depression, it's not always like the end all be all, like my life is over, I enjoy absolutely nothing. That is the case for some people, but again, depression can fall on a scale. There's dysthymia, which is a more mild case of depression. There's major depressive disorder, people who have, chronic suicidal ideation. So everybody's different, and you can't look at somebody and say you're depressed, just like you can't look at somebody and say you're not depressed, because there's no universal face for depression. I say it for eating disorders all the time. You can't look at somebody, some people, you can, deduce kind of that they may have an eating disorder, or you can speculate, but you can't predict it for everybody, and you can't pinpoint it. So I feel like this was a stupid video now. The point is, like, people can be struggling and you have no idea. That I have been going through like the hardest time recently, and I post very little about it, and I don't go into a lot of detail because I do have a lot of followers. There are people in my real life who follow my blog, and it's just, I don't want to disclose everything. But like, just because I post a picture of a throwback with me and my boyfriend at a bar does not mean that like everything's perfect, because it's not. And the point of this video wasn't for me to call people out or call out the person who sent me this message. It's more just to spread awareness and try to just address the ignorance around mental illness in general. Because you never know. I have clients that I work with, and if I met them on the street, I would never, ever, ever think that they have a major mental illness and had to be hospitalized. And that just, it goes to show you, you don't know. You just don't. Most people don't walk around with a sign on their head that says, I was suicidal last night, or I'm going through a manic episode, or, I almost relapsed on heroin. People don't do that. So I think I'm just trying to say hello to be gentle with one another and be kinder to one another and stop assuming things. So if you watch this whole video, you're a champ. I'm gonna go shower because I smell like a gym sock. So yeah, okay. Thanks for watching, if you did. And I will see you guys at some point. Okay, bye-bye.